Same idea as activity 1, however now we use a different method for factoring. Check out the example problem. So in this video we're doing slide divide method, alright? And so that's how I'm going to use, that's how I'm going to factor each quadratic. So our step 1 is to factor. Again, for slide divide, we always take the A times the C, and we get 3. Okay, from here I do my diamond. So here's my diamond, 3 goes on top, -4 goes on the bottom, and then our two puzzle pieces are going to be -3 and -1. Alrighty, we're going to take these values, put them in factored form over here, x minus 3, x minus 1. Now I need to divide by my a, which is 3, right? So I'm going to divide both of these by 3. When we look at -3 divided by 3, well, that just gives us -1, so we just simplify that there. And when we look at 1/3, that's going to give us a decimal, right? So that's when we have to slide this 3 up. 3x minus 1. Alright, so now we have successfully factored. Remember that this equals 0, okay? So our step 2 is we need to use the zero product property and set each part equal to 0 and solve, okay? So looking at our factored form, these are our two parts right here. This is one of them in green, and this is the other one in blue. I'm going to draw the green one over here. I'm going to say x minus 1 equals 0. I'm going to draw the blue one right here, 3x minus 1 equals 0. And now we solve both, okay? So I'm going to start over at the green. I'm going to add 1 to both sides, and we get x equals 1 as our answer. Over at the blue, draw your line down the equal sign. Going to move this 1 over, this -1 by adding 1. Those cancel. We get 3x equals 1. Final step is I want to divide both sides by 3, and I get x equals 1/3 as my second answer. And that is the process of solving with slide divide, okay? Let's do one more example problem here. The first thing we need to recognize about example 2 is the quadratic is not equal to 0, okay? We need to see equals 0. So my first step is I need to move this 2 over to the other side, okay? And I'm going to do that by subtraction. Alrighty. So now we get 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 equals 0. And now I have my equal 0. Now I can go ahead and do slide divide. So that's what I'm going to do next, alright? So we get x squared minus 3, or plus 3x, my bad, minus 4, because I multiplied 2 times -2, equals 0. Go ahead and do our diamond. So we put -4 on top, we put 3 on the bottom. Our two puzzle pieces are going to be 4 and -1. Alright, cool. Now we go to our factored form, which is going to be x plus 4, x minus 1. I need to divide at this step by our a value, which was 2. Divided by 2, divided by 2. I get x plus, well, 4 divided by 2 is just 2. And then in this situation, it is a decimal, y'all, so we have to slide that up. 2x minus 1. Okay, now remember this equals 0. At this point, I need to separate the 2 and set them equal to 0 separately, okay? So stay with me. I'm gonna go up here to write because I'm running out of room. X plus 2 equals 0. And then I'm going to write this one over here. 2x minus 1 equals 0. Okay? I'm going to solve the blue one first. we just need to take away 2 from both sides, and we get x equals negative 2 as one of our answers. Looking at the green one now, I need to add 1 to both sides first, and then we get 2x equals positive 1. Now I need to divide both sides by 2. And we get x equals 1/2 as our second answer. Okay, so these ones we're just going to look at. We're not going to solve them, but I want you guys to know how to go about this situation. So what if example 2 looks like this? 2x squared equals negative 3x plus 2. So remember, it has to equal 0. That's our main goal. So what I would do in this one is we're going to move the negative 3x and the 2. So let's start with the negative 3x. How do we move that? Well, we plus 3x, right? And we do that over here on the left-hand side too. So now we get 2x squared plus 3x equals 2. And we're closer to get it equal to 0, right? But we're not quite there yet. We have to also move this positive 2. So I'm going to take away 2 from both sides. And then we finally have 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 equal to 0. And then it's good to go in order for you to solve using factoring. What if it looked like this? 2x squared minus 3x minus 1 equals 1. So for this one, the only thing I need to move is this 1 that's over here, okay? And so opposite operation, I'm going to take away 1, and then in the same way I'm going to take away 1 over here. They cancel right here, okay? Now, the thing you have to look at for this is these can go together. These are like terms, negative 1 and negative 1. So we want to combine those. So we get 2x squared minus 3x. Negative 1 minus 1 gives you negative 2. Okay? And that equals 0. And then we can go ahead and solve.